So I'm at the beach right now, and I'm going to be doing some fishing over the next few days. Now, I actually did some fishing last night. We got here yesterday, did some fishing last night. Did, you know, my usual, we're staying on the bay side of a certain beach. But anyways, I typically like to fish more or less in the bay anyways when I do come to the beach, just because there's a lot bigger variety of fish and it's a lot easier to catch fish, it seems like. So normally what I would do, a lot of bayside hotels will have their own private bait piers that go out into the bay, and fish are really attracted to those, especially bait fish, pinfish to be exact. So normally what I do, I'll go and buy like some frozen shrimp and cut up, you know, little bitty pieces, get a little bitty tiny hook, light line, and catch those pinfish that hang around docks, and use those guys as bait because they are very, very good bait. Well, that's what I was doing yesterday. I was doing my usual and all that, but yeah, there was just nothing at all besides hardheads, catfish. I'll roll a clip right here of me catching one of them last night. Alright dudes, hooked up on a little cat, I think it is. Feels just like one, probably on like a pound, but I'm gonna get this guy in there. It's been the only thing that's been hit really. Just these little hardheads, which is kind of annoying, you know, but hopefully we'll get into something much better later on tonight or tomorrow or something like that. But anyways, let's see this dude. Yep, and that's a little kitty. So there he is right there, only about a pound. This is just the hardhead catfish. Pretty much the most common type of fish out here in the bay. But anyways, we're gonna get this guy back in. And here's a little bitty hardhead catfish. Like, normally you can catch them like 2, maybe even 3 pounds, and even the sailfin catch, which tend to get much bigger than the hardheads. They put up a really good fight, but these have just been really small catfish, and I caught the biggest one I've caught so far this morning, and he was probably only a pound. This is him right here, and I mean, that's just all that's been hitting, like that's it, and the pinfish. But today, instead of using the cut bait and you know, just dead bait, what we're gonna be doing is going and getting some live bait. Now, yesterday when I was at the bait store, I actually saw some live minnows, and they also had live shrimp. Now, the main thing I want to get is to try the live minnows, because there's a pier light at one of the docks that I'm staying at, and there's a lot of minnows. I'm gonna show it to you guys, and I'm gonna do a lot more filming tonight. There's a lot of minnows that just circle around that light. It's pretty cool, and there weren't no bigger predatory fish around the fish right there around that light, but probably about 30 feet away from that light, there were a lot of blow-ups, a lot of, like, you know, probably sea trout, maybe small redfish, blowing up on minnows and stuff. So that's why I want to try out some live minnows tonight. Alright dude, so it feels like we're on a decently sized catfish at least. Try to find out at least. Had a pretty solid hit on it, and it definitely feels like a cat, so here we go, about to find out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a bluefish. What in the world? Well, I was definitely not expecting that. So that is actually a bluefish. Now, there's several of these guys that have been coming up out here and been hitting at the top, and I've been trying to hit them up with that minnow right there. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get this guy unhooked. And these guys have teeth, so I got to be pretty careful about this. But yeah, that guy felt just like a catfish when he hit. But anyways, I'm going to go and get this guy unhooked and back in. Alright dudes, fish number 3 right here. Had a pretty big hit on this one. Alright, we're going to fight this guy and see what it is. Yep, it's a big old kitty. That's what it is. Honestly, not even going to lie, that is a pretty big hardhead right there. That is probably a 3-pound hardhead. That's a pretty big hardhead right there. That's decent size for those guys. Alright dudes, we are on first fish of the night. Oh yeah. Whip this guy right on in. It's got some good weight to him. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely got some pretty good weight to him. Alright, I'm gonna get this guy right. I'm not even gonna lie to you, that is the biggest hardhead I've ever seen. That is the biggest I have ever seen or caught. Dude, oh my gosh, look how fat he is. Holy dude. This thing's probably 4 pounds at least. That is a huge hardhead, dude. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're gonna get this guy unhooked. Little circle hook right there. And should just pop right out. There we go. One thing, you want to be careful with these guys, because these guys will fin you, and it really does hurt. So what I like to do normally is just kind of, you know, give these guys a little tap back in the water, not pick them up, because well, we'll pick this guy up. I say that and he just fins me. Okay. And off he goes. Fish number 2. Get him in. Yep, that was the size I was catching at first about 2 days ago. And we've definitely moved on to some bigger cats, but yep, another little small guy.